Welcome to the Killjoy After Party.
Think the fun is over once you quit drinking?
Think again.
We have a booze-free beverage shop in Nashville, and we hear stories from our customers all the time about how much better life is after booze.
And we're excited to share these stories with you.
And since this is Nashville, you bet your ass
we're making it musical.
Yeah, it tastes like sunshine, like a real good time, lifting my mood and it brightens my day. Gonna rise and go, no alcohol, get my sparkle roll. Gonna rise and go, no alcohol.
You're in Nueva York.
I am in New York City. I'm in Manhattan right now on the 36th floor. I got to use those credit card points, man.
Yeah.
If this podcast is now going to be about credit card points and the non-alcoholic beverage industry and how those two things can very much so go together, I am here to educate the world on churning and the points game. There will be no gatekeeping. I will share everything that I know.
Well, what kind of a credit card is this?
Yeah.
Like, let's get into it.
You guys are bottle shop owners. This is perfect. Like, it's a hobby. So I have 22 cards right now, and I know that sounds like a lot. After about like 12, I was like, all right, this is like a hobby, you know, it's kind of hard to keep track of. But yeah, there's ways to do things. It's about sign-up bonuses, and then you get your spouse involved or other people on the account and more sign-up bonuses. If you do it in the way that it can be done, it takes some energy and time, but I like finding a good deal, and you can find a lot of deals within that, especially if you're doing a lot of revenue. So there's a lot of perks in there if you know how to find them, and I've been digging in all that for the last few years, so it's kind of fun.
So a lot of people who identify as alcoholics find that they do things alcoholically in the future, like collect credit cards. Would you say that that is true for you?
No, is the short answer, and the slightly extended answer from there is it was the same thing when I stopped drinking, and then a year later I opened up Ocean Beach Cafe. It was like, are you trading one addiction for the other? And I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure I'm not. And it's like, no, that's not my personality. I'm pretty chill, and I could totally just like live on a beach. I don't feel like I'm transferring something for the other.
Are you open to sharing the reason why you discovered why you drank?
Yeah, that was one that was like, I feel like self-awareness is really important to me, and I can dig deep, and I'm not scared of it. I actually look forward to it, like really getting to know me and what makes me tick. And, you know, if there's traumas or if there's ones that you don't even remember that happened when you were 6 months old and then they get imprinted onto your DNA, like that kind of stuff. I was like, I want to kind of like go into regressive therapy or hypnotherapy or something. Like, I'm into that kind of stuff. So I'm never scared to go there. There's nothing I'm hiding from. But I also had like a really sweet childhood. All of my memories, I don't have memories of like, oh, this bad thing happened. I don't have those. So are there memories that I don't remember? Like, I want to know. I really do, because I'm not scared of those things, and I love to know. That's just part of my personality. And so why I drank was one that was like, I was trying to figure out the answer for it. I mean, ultimately, it's just really fun. And like, I love to have a life full of experience and a fun-filled life. And I love the freedom. To me, it was like, if I can go to a happy hour anytime I want to, like, that was really important to me. And I want to be able to do that. And then it was later on where you realize you're actually kind of in a prison. Your freedom that you think is a freedom, like, I can do whatever I want. I can have a blast and happy hours and hang out with bartenders and woohoo and be social, and it's super fun. And it was for a long time, until the hangovers of like 34 years old and 36 years old. But it was just a lot of fun. It was a big dopamine spike for me. So I guess I was a dopamine fiend, and that would have a lot to do with it. I never drank for like, oh man, I just want to numb things out, or like there was trauma and it's hard and I kind of want to dodge it. Never had anything like that, like whatsoever. It's just really fun, and it befit my personality and lifestyle. And then I was completely passionate about beverages and sharing cool liquor, beer, and wine and spirits and cocktails with people, and making them in a hospitality setting and being like, hey, check this out, and like boom, and like do my bartender thing. I mean, it was like a chef gets into food. I got into drinks and cocktails. I brewed 100 batches of beer, hundreds of wine tastings, managed a lot of bars. It was just like, it was my life, and I absolutely loved it. And that had a lot to do with why I also enjoyed drinking and in a bunch of different places all over the country for decades. It was just super fun.
Yeah.
That's a great reason.
It sounds amazing. Yeah, yeah. And you're still kind of doing that now. You're just, removed one ingredient,
Yeah, I took the
You're keeping the
ethanol
party
out.
going.
I get to do the exact same thing that I love to do the most in my career, and that was share amazing drinks with people and tell stories passionately, naturally in a hospitality setting. I get to do that with non-alc now, and all these 600 brands that have come out. I'm like, I could not be in a better world for me. Like this is awesome. And now I'm hanging out with you guys and like talking about all
You've
this
made
stuff.
it. How did you know it was time to make that transition?
Oh, years before it ever actually happens, It's kind of like divorce, It's like, well, you kind of knew like 4 years before that this just wasn't going to be working out, but you kind of stick with it for a while, and then you take 2 weeks off here and then 3 weeks off there, and then you go back to benders every single time. And so it was 2019. It was 2 months after the DUI, got kicked out of my house, let go from 2 jobs. That was September. And then it was like December 1st, 2019. I was like, I'm taking a whole year. I'm going the long term. That's the idea. I'm going for it. And I was super committed to it. And then, December 1st, Asheville, North Carolina. I was going the whole year. I was like, let's see what happens at the end of that year. And there was a couple things that happened in December that were kind of compromising, like getting let go from a job. And then holidays, Christmas, New Year's, and my birthday's on January 14th. And I breezed right through them. There was a couple times I was like, it was tough, which was perfect. And then after that, I was like, I'm good to go. I'm going the whole year.
Incredible. That was a great time to stop right before the pandemic, too.
I remember sitting in the library in Asheville, North Carolina, researching non-alcoholic beverages and like, would I put one in Asheville, like a non-alcoholic bar? I was doing research on it. That was the first time I really kind of dug into it. So I saw Curious Elixirs and I saw Liars and I saw Ken Euphorics. And I was like, oh, okay, there's stuff, and they're kind of cool actually, and that was when I really started the research into it, and then I think SoBar had come to my mind at that time. I think I put a little proposal together, a 1-pager that was like SoBar, it could be a thing, and then I found out later it was trademarked, and somebody in Maryland already had it, and
it's a good name. When I wanted to do Killjoy, I had someone suggest that to me as well.
There was like 6 of them in the country, and I got like a really sweet cease and desist. And they're like, "Well, we trademarked that." I was like, "Oh, I don't actually want to use it anyway. It's not really like the one for me."
So were you living in Asheville?
Yeah, I was there for about 8 or 9 months after leaving New York. I'm in New York now, so it's neat to be back. And I was in New York for 2 years, bartending at some fancy places and some awesome stuff. It was an amazing time, and it was also a lot of really drunken nights and getting let go of some jobs, which absolutely crushed me. That was some of the hardest times in my life, getting let go of jobs from drinking on the job, essentially. And that essentially meant I was drinking for a few days at a time. And that's what really crushed my whole system and ability to like function as a respectable employee. Even though like I'm cool, I'm good, I can work with people and I can push through, I'm pretty strong. You can't be doing that and getting let go for drinking on the job or something directly related to that, like 3 times in a row at fancy places in New York City. God, that was so hard. And then it was right to go to North Carolina. I was like, got a one-way ticket, and I was there, and I was still drinking throughout that year, and I was just trying to figure out what to do with my life. I was 38 years old.
How'd you end up in San Francisco?
When I took that year off drinking, December 1st, I was like, I do not want to be in Asheville. Asheville was not working for me. I wasn't really feeling it. And there was about a month in to not drinking. So January, my brother was like, you should think about going to this friendship house, Native American centered rehab center, essentially. It was a really neat, like, Native American place, though. And he had gone there. My little brother had gone there, so I'd be the 3rd sibling of 5 that had gone there. My sister has almost gone there. She just never showed up. But I was like, you know what? I got nothing to lose by going to a center. I'm sure it will only be positive, and I don't want to be in Asheville, North Carolina. I got nothing to lose. I'll apply, and they accepted me, and I was like, sweet, we're going to inpatient rehab center, and I knew it was going to be positive, and it ended up being amazing. It was COVID hit 2 weeks after I got there. That was I got there February 8th, and COVID hit 2 weeks after that, and it was a great place to be for that whole thing going down, and it was an amazing experience.
Are there any like rituals that you carry every daily from going through that program?
So as far as practices that I took from that, there was just some really, really big moments that happened in there. One of them was what happens to your brain 6 months after not drinking, and then 1 year after not drinking, and then a year and a half after not drinking. When I saw that in a book, I was like, oh my God, I know so much about alcohol. I can't believe how much I didn't know about its effects on my body and brain. That absolutely fascinated me. And the biggest moment of my life was there as well, when I was like, I distinctly remember when I was laying in my bunk and I was like, oh my God, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go find non-alcoholic beverages. I'm going to buy them. I'm going to review them. I'm going to buy a van. I'm going to drive to places that are doing things. I'm going to take videos of it all. I'm going to have a YouTube channel. I'm going to like do non-alc stuff. And it was like this connection with the universe moment. I was like, as soon as I get out of here, that is the first thing that I'm doing. I'm not going to go bartending again. I'm done with that. I don't want to be a bartender or a server or a manager at a restaurant. That is what I'm going to do. And right when I left, that's exactly what happened. I picked up an Athletic Brewing Company Run Wild IPA 6-pack and drank it. And I was like, yep, this is great. And then started the YouTube channel, Josh the Nonalcoholic. I was like, I'm going to make 50 videos, see where this takes me. That was June of 2020.
Wow. And so after vowing not to get into bartending, it wasn't much long after that you found Ocean Beach Cafe, right?
Yeah. I was on like video 30 and at the beach and walked into this deli that was permanently closing in 1 week. And he was like, he had a busted foot. He was sitting on a chair in the dining room. He's like, you want to buy the place? And I was like, sure. How much? Then I hadn't been drinking for 8 months. He was like, $50,000. I was like, really? For everything? He's like, yeah, it all works. It's turnkey. I was like, you mind if I sit down? He's like, sure, pull up a seat. I was like, all right. I had like no money. And I had credit in like the 400s, which was really, really bad. And I left that conversation and I went to GoDaddy and I searched oceanbeachcafe.com. There was a little green light. It was like, it's available. I was like, no way. I was like, no, I was getting out of this industry. Like, God, am I really going to do this? I'll give myself to the end of the week and think about it. And then I was like, I'm all in. I'm going to do it. And I'm not going to stop until and if it happens, and if it doesn't, that's totally okay. And if it does, I'm gonna be working my ass off.
And so for those who don't know, Ocean Beach Cafe has been successfully running now for 5 years. You want to tell us about it?
Yeah, it's like I said, the first thing I searched was Ocean Beach Cafe. If I called it like niche non-alcoholic bar, it's such a good name. I would be doing 20% of the sales. Get a non-alcoholic bar out by the beach. The rent is great. I was paying $1,500 a month for the rent. Beachside, California, 1,000 square feet, 300 square foot parklet on the outside for outdoor dining. Like I wouldn't be here if it was Josh's non-alcoholic bar. You call it Ocean Beach Cafe, people are gonna show the fuck up, and I'm gonna get that latte money. You know, how much does it cost? I'm gonna get that sandwich money. and people need cafe like an addiction, actually, and food. You need sustenance. And it's this whole thing about like eating food and getting a latte. It's like, this is really important stuff. Getting a non-alcoholic whiskey bottle for $38. Now that's a little bit of a luxury item, you know. And but what I did is I counted up. I've had hundreds of thousands of people come through that shop, and when I was there for 3 years, open to close, can I get a latte? Yeah, sure. Did you want oat milk or whole milk? I'll take oat milk. Okay, great. What's your name? It's Peter. What's up, Peter? Nice to meet you. Welcome. We'll get that latte out for you. By the way, all those bottles that you see behind you, everything's non-alcoholic. Like all the beers, all the wines, it's like the best non-alcoholic wine in the world right there. And I got other stuff that like gives you a buzz. It's a bunch of cool stuff. Go check it out while you wait, and I'll call your name when it's ready. Okay. Wow, I stopped drinking a year ago. This is awesome. I was like, oh yeah, I basically built this place for you. Go check it out. There's like hundreds of bottles over there. Boom. Done. Got the latte money. Let people know what a non-alcoholic bottle shop looks like. Had my full bar section, cocktail program. And that's largely, I think, why it's been successful. And how many retail non-alcoholic bottle shops have opened after me and closed before me? And it breaks my freaking heart. Because, like, I just want to, like, help. And I'm not, I know, taking on food is in espresso machine, my God, I have 14 employees. It's freaking difficult. But everything is hard. Everything, all the time. What level of hard is harder than the other hard? They're all hard. Yeah. They're hard. But, like, opening and then closing is, like, the worst. And I don't know, that's the way that I've found to make it work. And I really feel like I'm on this earth right now to give these people that are so motivated and driven to open up non-alcoholic beverage focused spaces the greatest chance of success to keep going. And that's what my mission is right now for this year and the years to come, is to just help. And I just want to help any way that I can. Like, no gatekeeping, give it away for free. Just I just don't want to see more shops not being able to make it. And I believe there's a way.
Well, we are grateful because this is how we met you. Or I met you and Kristen together at the same time. I didn't know if that was when you met, but now you and Kristen are married, which is incredible.
Yep. Put a ring on it.
Yeah, you did. How did you pull that off, Josh?
Oh my God.
We've got to know.
I thought I had like less than a 5% chance, and I'm really realistic with myself. I was like, this is a dream girl. I had a crush on her for like years before. And
had you met her in real life? You just had a crush on her like from Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about Kristen from Creative Sobriety, if y'all
Kristen
don't
Bear,
know her.
Creative. Yeah, she's like the queen. So 2024 was all about create a 5-minute sizzle reel to pitch a non-alcoholic beverage traveling show and get that thing produced so that we can pitch it, because the whole world needs to know what's going on. And if I do that, that's millions of people that will have the knowledge and the information that they need to have, and it will naturally up the sales of all the bottle shops and non-alc in general, because they will just be informed. I mean, that's the most important thing. They just need to know. Nobody knows what's going on. And they become aware of it, but now they need to know what it is, and they need to know what's good. So I was like, let's have a show on Netflix to let everybody know. It's like having a documentary on vegan and veganism. It's like, that was super important. Okay, we need that for non-alc. Super important. Then everybody's going to know what's up. I feel like I am the person to tell that story. I need a co-host. No doubt in my mind who that's going to be. Very easy choice. It's like Kristen Bear of Creative Sobriety. Like, she's freaking gorgeous, freaking hilarious. Can tell she's just like has no ego about it. She's the best. Like, and so I asked her, and she said yes, and I was like, sweet. And even though I had a crush on her, like a big crush on her, I was like, that's not how I'm coming in. I'm not coming in with those vibes, and I'm not coming in with that energy, and to keep it pro. And I booked a ticket to Nashville, and you were there, Stephanie. You were there the first time we sat down, and I saw her in person.
That was the first time they met. I have photos, people.
Wearing these big white boots, and yep, that was it. And I was like, keep it together. I felt like I kept it together. It was like mental gymnastics for like a year. It's about the show, you know. And then I think I was there in November or December. We didn't start shooting until July of 24. So we had a lot of meetings and figuring out who was going to shoot 3 locations. The first location was in New Orleans, and I went into that like, I am not going to make a move. I'm gonna keep it pro.
Keep it pro. Yeah.
Who made the first move?
Oh, I did. Yeah. It was a huge risk. I was risking everything.
Huge risk.
I was going against my word about not making a move, first of all.
So when did you first make the move? Was it in New Orleans?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's timeline this. So we meet in winter of 23, and then summer of 20. So you guys are working on this project now. Long distance. Josh is in San Francisco. Kristen is in Nashville. They have plans to meet in New Orleans to film. Josh is definitely not going to make a move. He's going to be
not gonna
totally
make a move.
professional. And then he makes the move. How does Kristen react?
I held her hand,
Okay.
and it was really nice. And it sat there for a while, you know.
He didn't jerk it away.
Yeah, exactly. Just another guy hitting on me. No, he built up a lot of trust. It was great.
Prior to Kristen, have you done much like sober dating? Or was this all like new to you?
So there was some sober dating, yes. And that stuff was more organically. And then there was non-sober dating. And then there was, so there was a bit of both.
Yeah, and I like how you said the sober dating was a little more organic, because that's kind of how has been my experience too. And partly because I was kind of doing the same thing as you are. You know, I'm in the shop and I'm working, so I'm not we're taking the romance card off the deck when people come in.
Yeah.
But even prior to that, I would just, be around people and be like, oh, this person's cool or whatever. Like, let's just hang out and let me get to know you, rather than being on an app and like having romance at the forefront of everything and having all that pressure on it,
Yeah, me and John are going to go do another podcast separately, him and I, about dating apps sober. And we got a whole thesis, don't we, John?
Top-notch stuff. Quality.
Well, I do think this is something that a lot of people struggle with, because if you're newly sober and you don't really know you don't have a sober circle, and I think places like Ocean Beach Cafe and like, Killjoy and our bar nights are places where people can go and meet like-minded folks. But other than that, if you're on the apps, I think it's hard.
Did you see the recent stat? I think it was 72%. I think it was a Bumble, Tinder, or Hinge, whatever. 72% are interested in basically an alcohol-free first date or whatever. The whole non-alcoholic or mocktails or sober in the dating world right now is one of the biggest subjects, if not the biggest subject in dating app statistics right now. And it's also the biggest category in like Toast POS, like the major cash registers for all the restaurants and bars and beyond out there. It can see what menu items are selling, and non-alcoholic and mocktails is just like boom, and then like everything else is on a decline. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Wow.
Except for lattes.
Lattes I got latte trauma. It's a thing.
You got a latte trauma.
Latte trauma. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm so invested in your story with Kristen. Can we go back to it? Because now I need to know. So we know that now it's summer of 24. They've held hands. And now it's summer of 25. You guys are freaking married. When did you pop the question?
So we were never even. You ever had one of those relationships where like you're not even boyfriend and girlfriend? Like it wouldn't be like, oh yeah, this is my girlfriend. It was just like life partner. It was just what it was. There was no question about this. It was like big love, universal, I love yous, just like insane. Just like this is absolutely what we're doing and where we're going. And the future is just like, it's so big and awesome, and we can do this. We get to do this thing because we're together and like multiple lifetimes converging, So that's how it started. And it was just very clear that the path forward was just insane. I mean, you still got to go through your first few months of being together and the honeymoon stage of all that, right? But yeah, so that was New Orleans, and then we were going back and forth a lot and traveling and shooting the other two locations and keeping it a secret, Keep it classy.
Yeah. I bet was it fun to have it be a secret?
Sure, it wasn't real secret, but yeah, we weren't being super public about it.
Because she didn't post nothing until she was walking down the aisle, man. Like,
She keeps it real classy.
Did you know that John saw you guys when you were in Nashville? He saw you guys kiss.
I saw you
I learned about
walking
that.
down the road.
Detective John over here.
Late night
driving. I was like, okay, nobody's looking, smooch.
Out and about.
John was driving by. Oh, I
was there.
Got us. He was like,
Just know that John is always watching you.
Good old
but
John.
it made me very happy just to see that, man, because I was like, oh, yay. Like, in that moment, I was like, oh, shit. I saw your whole paths, kind of the turmoil and your paths kind of coming together in that way. And it was so cool, man.
I wrote down what you said. You said, multiple lifetimes converging. Just no big deal. Just multiple lifetimes converging. You saw that?
I saw that.
We felt it.
I saw that. It was evident. It was palpable.
All right. Well, that was what I wanted to talk about. Josh, is there other stuff that you want to talk about?
Yeah, just really big things happening in this world right now. They're not small things at all. But it's never really happened before either, and not like this. And I really believe, and there's a lot of preconceptions and judgments that we come from. Even 5 years ago, it's like non-alcoholic and mocktails and O'Doul's. There were all these stigmatized things, and we're in such a different world now. And now it's become a household subject, and I love that. And I'm really just super passionate about people. They're so curious. And I want them to get that information about like what's good and what's cool and like what does lion's mane do for you and what is rhodiola and like all these better for you beverages that are coming and how when you have a drink in your hand, if it's water, it doesn't really work. When it's a cocktail though, it's a part of culture and it makes the whole social experience a thing and it makes it a full circle of an experience. It didn't have to be alcohol in that glass to have that kind of an amazing time and that emotion and that transfer of being social. I just think that's so powerful because we don't get to experience it like that. The default's always, let's go out and get some drinks. Or like, oh yeah, I want to go on a first date with this person. Like we should go out and get some drinks sometime. And it's like, It didn't have to be alcohol in that. And I get to see that at this really, really high level all the time at my Ocean Beach Cafe. And I really wish the rest of the world could see that. And they could feel the energy of the room because the curiosity is in there. The curiosity being satisfied, learning stuff, trying stuff. It's pretty. You want to take pictures of it. You want to cheers and the vibe and the place. And it's just like, that's all the stuff. And I just think that's fascinating, And then I like to tell a story of when somebody, let's say their pattern was to crack a beer after work and sit down on their couch and relax and their whole body winds down. It's like the ritual is such a strong, powerful thing for the body because they've cracked the beer and the sound and the cold beer in their hand and they drink it and it's like their whole body just relaxes visibly. The alcohol hasn't hit the system yet. The alcohol's not even in the bloodstream, but the time of day is. So you can actually put a drink inside of your hand that's that time of day or part of your pattern, and it can still have the same effect in that sense. And it doesn't have the alcohol in it, so all the things that come with that, which is wanting to drink more alcohol and the poisons that the things that it does to your body. I don't know. I think it's fascinating to think that these alternatives are actually very effective and they work and they're delicious, and you just got to find them and figure out a way to put them into your life. And hundreds of millions of people are doing that, and it's such a cool, unprecedented thing to be happening.
Well put, my friend. Well put.
And go support your local non-alcoholic bottle shop. They need you, and there's a community there.
I do.
You guys are building such an amazing one over there in Nashville. I went to that bar night. It's all non-alcoholic, and there's hemp-derived THC products. I love that. I was like, this is awesome. And we need 100 more of those in this country. We need social spaces that don't revolve around alcohol. Like, that just sounds like $1 billion idea to me. Just rolls off the tongue.
Oh, man.
Why is it so hard? How come all the sober bartenders that are out there, and there's like 1 million of them or whatever, how come they're not opening up these spaces? Come on, let's do it.
Right?
Yeah, we got to get people ready. I was kind of like you. I had this revelation like shortly after I quit drinking, like I have to do this, the non-alcoholic bar vision. And like last night we were at Gramps and I'm just looking around at all these people hanging out in the bar and I'm like, this is it. It's here. Like the thing I dreamed about, you know, it's real. It's incredible. And people are coming. So I love hearing your stats because I mean, we see that it's on the rise, but I don't know, you know, I want to share that perspective with others that there's so many people out here that are getting into this and getting interested in it. It's very exciting.
I think it's media, you know, get a ton of media out there and just let everybody know it's really going on because it's so much cooler and funner and awesome and epic than folks really know. And we just need to get it all out there. But I have such a big interest and I will make time to help others, you know, and I think with the technology that we have right now is one of the most unprecedented things in the history of mankind with AI stuff and what we can do now. And I'm really digging deep into that to how it can help like the businesses and getting all this stuff out there. And I'm really excited about that whole thing and I'm digging into it. And I want to share all of it with all of you guys. And then we need to get this show on. If it's not Netflix, that's totally fine. But a major streaming service.
Yeah, just put that shit on YouTube, Joshy. Like, I mean, obviously Netflix is the goal, but just put that shit on YouTube, like, and show them. Because I feel like even with Netflix, you're gonna have to fucking show them. Because even Netflix don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody at Netflix is going to be. I feel like this pitch deck that we have and we're sending out there. It's a thing that's not like, oh, I got this really good idea for this show. You guys should check out the pitch. You know, I'm coming in like, okay. We have like a gold rush thing happening right now, and it's a really big deal. Like the fabric of culture and society itself has shifted, and we got the scoop. And who's coming with us? Like who wants to be a part of it? And it's gonna get to somebody, and they're gonna be like, "Oh my God, I stopped drinking 2 years ago." But you know what? You know who this needs to get to? Oh, my boss. He's gonna love this. He stopped drinking a year ago, and that absolutely is gonna happen statistically. Like they're just gonna be like, oh my God, you know all the like tons of brand owners and live, eat, and breathe non-alc for the last 5 years, and you got Kristen Bear as your wife. Like, yeah, that's
You're unstoppable now. So when is the sizzle reel complete?
Yeah, we got the final version. Looks amazing.
Can we see it?
Yeah. Yes.
Am I in
it? That's what she was getting at.
Yes. Yes, you
are. Okay. Sizzle. Yes, I'm ready to sizzle.
Yeah, it's sizzling already.
I got these nails on. Y'all can't see them. I'm ready to sizzle.
Sizzling on the nails.
And I also think we're ready for
rapid fire.
Dun, dun, dun.
What is your favorite color, Josh?
Blue with a little gray in it.
What is your most listened to genre of music?
Melodic techno. No, I don't want to say techno. I got to run with it now. I already said it.
I just thought you were just going to stop with melodic.
I love melodies. I've written a lot of songs in my time too, so I enjoy good melodies.
Yes. Pizza or wings?
Oh my God, I had this pizza 2 days ago. That's like one of the best I'd ever had. So I'm going to have to go with pizza right now.
Right. Was that in New York?
It actually was up the street from my cafe at an absolutely legendary spot.
All right. Well, when we go to visit, we're going to have to get pizza there because I'm on team pizza for sure. What do you do for fun?
I mean, I feel like a lot of stuff I do isn't even work. I just love all this stuff. But I do surf avidly, and I live right next to the beach, and there's some good waves out there. And I do like to play music, and I don't pick up my ukulele enough, but my dad made ukuleles for a long time, so that's like one of my creative expressions that I absolutely love. I enjoy doing this stuff, connecting with people, and I really like interacting with people. It's super fun for me, and to share all this really cool stuff. So I love to travel, and I just want to be in a whole bunch of places and talk about all this non-alc stuff too. That's all super fun for me.
Sounding like your dating profile.
Which one?
What's your most used emoji?
I've been doing a lot of the thumbs up, but the okay is pretty great too.
Yeah.
Do you have a nickname?
No. I'll sign my emails with JJ though, but I don't go by JJ.
JJ.
If your cafe got a mascot that was a hybrid of two creatures, what would they be?
That would be a hawk, like in a good way. I'm part Native American. I'm like a quarter Native American, and a hawk has some symbolism there. And that was a mascot that I wanted to kind of institute because they also fly around the cafe. And it would have to be a hybrid of this hawk and just want like a really big bird. Can I have that?
Yeah.
Large bird. Do you have a favorite book right now? Something you're currently reading?
Do we have time to read books, John?
You know, at night before I drift off into the dream realm.
The Alchemist.
That's a good one.
All right.
But yeah,
I think we got it.
Before we do this next round, I need to use the bathroom real quick.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
I'd like to adjust my shorts.
Yeah.
Little break, stretch break.
All right. So we wrote the song. We've got it all. We took about 10, 15 minutes, and now we're going to perform it, and it sounds like this.
On the ocean, there's a beach. On the beach, there's a cafe. In the cafe, you can get a latte or whatever you want. There's bottles over on the wall, and it's probably not what you think. You can keep your ritual going if you make yourself a drink. But don't call it a mocktail. It's a non-alcoholic cocktail, spirit-free or zero proof. It's not a kid's drink, it's just for you. Don't call it a mocktail. It's a non-alcoholic cocktail, spirit-free or zero proof. It's not a kid's drink, it's just for you.
All right.
That's it. Good job, y'all. Y'all look great.
You guys look so
What'd you
cool
think?
over there.
It's very hot over here, mommy. Very hot.
All right, Josh, thank you so much for being with us today. And Kristen, thank you for the cameo. Josh, tell the people where they can find you and follow you online.
Yes, you can find me at Josh the Nonalcoholic on YouTube. I'm taking over the non-alc corner of YouTube and the internet, and that's where it's going to be at. But on Instagram, the same name, Josh the Nonalcoholic. I also have found the best non-alcoholic red wine and sparkling wine in the world called Geronimo. So you'll see a bunch of Geronimo stuff out there as well that I sell and ship to everybody all over the country. This is good. This is going to be fun. We're going to let all the people know what's good and take over the non-alc corner of the world.
Hell yeah.
Yes,
Hell
yes.
yeah. Buy some Geronimo at Killjoy.
Yes. Thank you,
All right,
guys.
Josh, thank you so
guys are
much. We'll talk
epic.
to you soon.
Love you guys. Bye.
Love you, man. See ya.
Sparkle